You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
It is the start of a new season here tonight, and while it may not be for points, it is certainly going to be for pride. It is the opening of Season 37 for the SCL Winston Cup Series right here on Sim Racing Media. Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. Alongside me tonight, my broadcast partner, Sam Frazier. Sam, it's the classic start of the season. The Busch Clash at Daytona. It's what I grew up with as a kid. It's what I'm sure a lot of these drivers here tonight grew up with as well. It's nice to start getting back into some roots instead of going to Coliseum gimmicks.
Oh yeah, this is honestly a fresh breath of air for me personally, because this is also kind of what I grew up with. Started watching NASCAR right before the COT era, Car Tomorrow era. So I'm very familiar with the good old Busch Clash being at Daytona, as it should be, personally.
Yeah, I tend to agree, and it's looking more and more like it is going to end up at least somewhere not in Los Angeles. But either way, here tonight, though, it's going to be a little bit of fun. It's going to be 40 laps, 15 drivers that were here from last season, including one new one, at least from what I could see, here tonight, just trying to get this season started off the best possible way here. So 40 laps, going to be a lot of fun here tonight, and a lot of crazy racing here early with a small field especially.
So Frank, tell me, these next gen cars, they said about 40 something seconds per lap?
Uh,
give or take.
I would say about 46, 47.
Yeah. So it should be a decent race. Not too long, not too short. It is just 40 laps, shootout essentially. For a super speedway, it's a shootout.
Yeah, certainly. And as as we work towards the start of this race, we have about a minute and a half left to go before we actually start this race. There's not going to be any qualifying. It's just going to be straight up head-to-head racing, especially with the way Daytona is. Qualifying doesn't really seem to matter much either way. But yeah, again, 15 drivers here, so it's an odd number of drivers, which means somebody has the chance of possibly being left out, which means also somebody has the potential to really make the difference in their lane if they're lined up 7 by 7.
Yeah, and you're absolutely correct there. Really, I just want to see what's going to happen on track once the racing action gets started, because it being a super speedway, you never know what's going to happen.
You're right, and we are a couple of seconds away, about 40 seconds away or so from starting this race off. It was another very successful season last year, season 36 for the SCL guys. Justin Lewis winning. I'm sorry, I thought I heard something. Justin Lewis winning all but one of the championships last season, and that was this one. It was the Monday Night Championship. It went to Maxwell Caldwell, who is now a 3-time champion this season, looking to retain that crown that he won back at Atlanta last year. And he did not have the greatest of seasons last year, but was able to stay close enough, and with the drop weeks was able to keep himself in that fight for the championship. And we are now about to get ourselves into a fight for a race win here at Daytona. That flash of the screen typically means that the session has flipped on over, which means we can take a look at the grid here for tonight's Busch Clash. Brendan Cornoyer will start on pole with Johnny Wood Jr. here to open up this season. Josh Tarrant-Hill and Austin Call will make up row number 2. Chad Jones and Josh Flynn will sit in row 3. Maxwell Caldwell and Todd Merkel will make up row 4. Joshua Yarborough and Justin Lewis in row 5. Trevor Dalton and Jonathan Casebeer, winner last season at Talladega, in row 6. Row 7 will go to Michael Matta and Chris Myers, with Adam Lowe starting up at the back of the field here for tonight's race. It is going to be a quick one here tonight, but let's take a look at the weather conditions. We are just about past 6 p.m. in sim time, and you can see that clock is moving rather quick, so we are on an accelerated time scale here tonight. 2-mile-an-hour winds blowing towards the north, 65-degree ambient temperature, 68-degree track temperature, which means it is going to be a cool day, which means these cars are going to be running faster than they normally would with the cooler air temperature here tonight. These drivers also will have one fast repair here for this race, and from everything I have seen, the caution laps will count, unlike what we saw on Saturday night with the Busch with the Clash at the Coliseum. In real life, caution laps will count here from everything that I have seen. If not, I'm sure we'll find out on the first caution. So a fun night ahead of us here, and 15 of the top drivers here, Sam, for this series. I can't wait to get them rolling off and ready to go. We still have about 3 drivers that have yet to grid up.
So really quick, Frank, I don't know if you mentioned this already, but is there going to be any fast repairs? Because this is going to be
one
super
fast
short.
repair.
So, okay, so that's what I was wondering, because it being Daytona and this short of a race, 40 laps, anything happens significant and you need to come in for repairs, that could be absolutely detrimental.
Yep, certainly could be, as right now we are all waiting on last year's champion, Maxwell Caldwell, to grid up, and that is exactly what he has done. Let's take a moment here while we have it to speak with one of our drivers here tonight. You know what? Let's do that. Let's speak to our reigning defending champion here, Maxwell Caldwell. Max, you're coming off of your third championship. I'm sure you have enough bragging rights as it is right now, but I'm sure to take the Clash win and a little bit more would make you happy as well.
This event's kind of cool, right? I think this is the first time since I've been in SCL that they did an invitation-only event from all 3 series. So most of us are from the Monday night, but there's a few in here that run the modifieds and other things on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So it's going to be an interesting race. It's going to be great practice before the start of the season, too. So I know our team's kind of all in here. We all made it into this event. We're just going to try to use this as a glorified test session. And, hey, we're going to have some fun here tonight. So a lot of good racers in here, and it's going to get intense. It's going to be fun up in the booth for y'all to watch, Frank.
Talk us through a decision that you made over the offseason. Now, you, to me, seem like if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of guy. You've gone from red to blue on the paint scheme this year. What was the thought behind that?
This was actually made at the same time the red one was, but I noticed last season in the off-season, anytime I ran it, it was bad luck. So I was like, nope. But I've been using it just in the off-season here, and I thought for the Clash we'd go ahead and run it. But don't be surprised if you don't see those red colors come back when the season truly fires up. But this is just a invitational race. Thought it'd be nice to see if I can break the curse with the blue colors here. And really, they're actually under pressure's true colors. The red was mainly for Merkel. So nice to try to represent our friend here for under pressure power washing systems and get that original blue logo on here for this one.
All right, Max, getting ready for 40 laps. Enjoy here tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you a little bit later on.
Yes, sir. Y'all enjoy the show. This ought to be fun.
I am sure it will be, as that was Maxwell Caldwell, reigning champion, as we are going through turn 3 and 4 right now, getting set for this race to start. It's been one of the off seasons that I've been hoping would come to an end soon, Sam. I've enjoyed these races so much over the last couple of years. I've been able to broadcast them, and they're ready to go.
You know, Frank, I honestly wish that you were here to see the Busch Clash stuff that the SCL was doing back when Project Cars 2 was a thing. It was super intense because obviously it was a older kind of an arcadey type of sim, I guess, if you even want to call it that. So it caused some very interesting types of racing and different lines that you wouldn't usually see on something like iRacing.
And certainly it's caused a lot of fun here tonight. It'll cause a lot of fun here tonight being on iRacing and getting these cars rolling. I do love Project Cars 2. It was something about the way Project Cars 2 runs. I enjoy really slinging a car around there a lot more than I do seemingly anywhere else. Really quick, let's get one more interview in here. Let's speak with a man we talked about earlier on, Jonathan Casebeer. Welcome to Season 37. You won the last time we were on a super speedway. You think you can duplicate it here tonight?
Definitely hoping so. New aero package, things are a little bit different than they were last time by. So we're going to hope we can link up with teammate Matta, maybe another guy or two, and make our way to the front, because track position is going to be key that we noticed in practice. So we're just hoping to get up front and stay up front and stay clean.
So that kind of leads me to my next question here, was what is the strategy going to be here with such a short race?
I'm just trying to be out front as quick as possible and just try and maintain control on the guys behind you, not letting anybody by or not letting too many cars by, because it's so hard to get around everybody.
All right, Jonathan, you guys are going through 3 and 4. Good luck here the rest of the way, and hopefully we'll be talking to you a little bit later on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
So here we go. We are getting set to go racing. Sam, take us down.
Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Daytona. Johnny Wood Jr. is leading Brandon Fournier. followed by Josh Terrett here and Austin Call as they make their way through turn 1. Side-by-side racing here. They come out through the backstretch. Brendan Cornier Jr. has just squeezed ahead of Josh.
Cornoyer leading away on that bottom line. Josh Terrett Hill trying to give him the push, but right now it's Johnny Wood Jr. getting a nice push from Austin Call up on that outside line. Jonathan Casebeer mentioned a new aero package. The outside line has been very dominant here for the last couple of years on iRacing. Think that new aero package means that they changed it a little bit?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I've already seen a few races that you can definitely tell the aero package has significantly changed. Maybe not significantly, but you can definitely tell that there's a difference. So we will definitely see something here tonight compared to previous seasons.
On board with Maxwell Caldwell.
So far, nothing crazy is happening. I'm pretty sure since it's such a short race, nobody's going to be wanting to do any crazy moves or dives or blocking or anything crazy just yet.
A little bit further behind Adam Lowe, as there you see the 7 of Justin Lewis swing down to the bottom line. That'll open the door for Jonathan Casebeer to move his way up a little bit further as we ride on board with Chris Myers. Now this Valvoline car, as he has really let off there, see with our gyro cam, this car that Chris Myers is running tonight is going to be William Byron's Valvoline car for this season. And I'll say this, I was not a fan of it when I saw it, but I've driven this car for a little bit, and I'll tell you what, in the sim, it looks really, really good. A lot better than it does in pictures.
Yeah, it does. And honestly, I think that's probably because some of their pictures that they post might be generated. So that kind of a little bit different real life compared to a generated photo and sim. It's just kind of a little bit different lighting and detail.
Procession has begun as Brendan Cornoyer leads the way on the bottom line, and you can see the pack of cars behind him have all sort of melded to the bottom. That's now Michael Matta leading on that outside lane. He's got his teammate Jonathan Casebeer not all that far behind him, but still that outside line down to 4, and now it's coming up to 5 here as here comes the 58 of Adam Lowe to come up to the back of the line.
So I don't know if this new aero package affects the trucks, but I noticed that during a truck race at Talladega and here on iRacing, the outside line, at some point, they were able to get a good little boost after 4+ cars got into a line and absolutely overtake and slingshot around the inside line, which I thought that was interesting. So I don't know if this next-gen package is going to have the same effect here at Daytona or not.
On board with Jonathan Casebeer as his teammate Michael Matta swings down to the inside. We're right on the splitter here, so you get a nice little view of that diffuser down at the bottom of the brand new 2024 Ford Mustang that has come into the series. We do have a couple of Toyotas here, a couple of the new Toyotas for this season, one of them being Austin Call in that Bucky's number 18 machine. New sponsor for Austin Call this season. And I can't remember, was it you with, I was calling a race for WSC, for the Western States Racing League, one of the truck series that we do on Tuesday night. It was you. Okay, you're already laughing. It was you.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. If you didn't say it, I was already about to mention it next. Like these Bucky paint schemes is just dominating all these iRacing leagues. I'm not complaining. They're really cool to see, but I just noticed that in the past like 3 weeks to a month now.
For those of you who don't know the story, I was broadcasting a WSCL race, or a WSRL race. There you go. Those are the letters. And I thought Bucky was an otter, but then I believe you said Bucky was a beaver, or somebody in the chat said Bucky was a beaver, and I kind of went, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I have them in my pantry from the last time I was at Buc-ee's, but it's those beaver nuggets. Yeah, beaver nuggets. Yeah.
Right up to the front, as they wanted to do. Michael Matta and Jonathan Casebeer right up to the front of the line. Unfortunately, that leaves the 24 of Chris Myers out to dry. Now he is going to have to fall to the back of the line to try to get back into the draft.
So Frank, something that I've noticed when you were on that nose cam, saw the rear diffuser of the number 8. I noticed that if you get the draft just right, these cars come up super fast on the car in front, and they have to really lift off to avoid slamming into them. That's especially prevalent coming out of the turns, I noticed. We might see it here right now.
Once again on board at Jonathan Casebeer, currently running in second off the nose. Down at that diffuser, that flat bottom of Michael Matta's number 16. These guys, even though they do have that fast repair to fall back on, they're not taking it, not driving nearly as wild as we thought. These guys are trying to log some laps. They are trying to get used to running with each other. It's been about 2 months since these guys have run any laps with each other. So nice to see they're not just going crazy. They're sorting things out here almost a quarter of the way through this race.
Here's what I'm thinking. Let them kind of get back used to racing with each other again, like actually on race trim, and then after the first round of pit stops, we might see them get a little bit more aggressive, as they will have time to pretty much figure out just basically the entire field on a whole go around.
Season 37 will officially open up for points racing next week. That will be at Daytona. 100 laps here from the Daytona International Speedway. And again, it will not be an invitational. We will be running for real starting next week. And then after that, it will be Kansas, race number 2 of the season. A lot of good races coming up here on this schedule. I know the drivers aren't all that happy with it, but I certainly am. Twin Ring Motegi has found its way on the schedule again this year. Richmond's back on the schedule. The Nashville Fairgrounds back on the schedule. We'll be closing the season out, as we typically do, at the old Atlanta Motor Speedway here on Monday nights. So it'll be a fun year once again for the SCL series. Is right now Justin Lewis, who again mentioned that he had won 3 of the 4 championships, came up just short of winning this championship to complete the sweep. Currently riding at the back. He's doing the same thing that Joshua Yarborough is doing. Now these drivers were lined up via their iRating. No qualifying time was set. And Justin Lewis now finding his way to the very back. So strategy call for Justin Lewis, differing from what we saw from the 16 and the 6.
Well, now I want to point that out because I noticed that the likes of Josh Flynn and Joshua Yarborough also backed up, and it almost looked like they were doing it intentionally. I don't know what they have up their sleeve, but something tells me that they know something that we don't. So we are going to see this play out here, especially after the first round of pit stops.
Josh Flynn, who I do believe is a Tuesday night driver, the split schedule, the split series. Last year it was between the super late models and the street stocks. This year it will be with the Tour Modifieds and the late model stocks this year on Tuesday nights. With Wednesday nights being the street stocks and the super truck series. So the truck series races have been cut a little bit shorter with the dual schedule for Wednesday night now, which will be a first for this series this year. So 5 different championships these drivers will be running for this year.
Frank, something funny I just want to mention is that I don't really know a whole lot about the modifieds, Tour or the NASCAR West version of them. I've actually only ever seen 2 races of any sort of modifieds. One was on, I think, Flow Racing or Racing America. It was just on, and I just wanted to see what it was all about. Then the second one was at the Nashville Fairgrounds. I didn't even know they were racing. They just were on track. I was like, oh well, that's a nice surprise. I guess we'll watch it.
Yeah, the modified cars. You want to talk about going back to the roots of NASCAR racing? It was certainly those modified cars, open wheel cars. The Tour mods are the ones that have the power. The SK mods are a little bit slower, kind of like a Busch car, if you want to call it that. But right now, you mentioned Justin Lewis hanging out at the back. He's not hanging out at the back anymore. He's got Joshua Yarborough with him. He's got Josh Flynn with him. He's also got Chris Myers up on that outside. Adam Lowe tried to make it work, but couldn't get up there fast enough.
Yeah, that was a good look by Joshua Yarborough to back off there. He was going to try to maybe go on the outside. That's not a good idea, especially this early in the race. You want to save that fast repair for later in the race. You might have a little bit of an incident on the bigger scale, so...
Cars moving up towards that outside. Brendan Cournoyer, Josh Terrett-Hill, and Chad Jones made a move to the outside. Michael Matta and Jonathan Casebeer showed they will have absolutely none of that. And now the procession that was on the bottom line is now on the top line as Justin Lewis a little bit lower. Now it comes down once again. Still 4 cars on that outside, led by Justin Lewis, the original 4.
You see that outside line trying to form up and make a run on the inside line. They might be able to get it done. Like I said, it usually takes 4 or more cars to make it work. So we're going to see what these guys can do. I have a feeling in the next 3 to 4 laps, the outside line should be on par side by side with the inside line, if not ahead.
On board here with Josh Flynn. Looking at the back of one of 2 Toyota Camrys here in this race, Joshua Yarborough. So off the back of Chad Jones in his City Chevrolet car, and boy, can't get much closer than that. It's Josh Terrett-Hill. What a shot. Brendan Cournoyer not yet clear of Justin Lewis. That outside line not nearly as bunched up or formed up as they were. However, they're not falling back. They are keeping that pace. They are keeping that momentum. And now they're going to get a little bit of a boost as both Michael Matta and Jonathan Casebeer move up to that outside.
I wonder how this was orchestrated. They both moved up at the same time, almost simultaneously. So this is a very interesting strategy call, on-track strategy call, most likely. So I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. Now, looks like the number 6. He has something up his sleeve.
6 and 16 are teammates. They are in the same chat together. And Casebeer said right at the top of the show, just before we went green, their plan is to get to the front and stay there. Got to the front in rather short order and now are leading and have been for the better part of 10 laps now. As here comes Brendan Cournoyer with a push from Chad Jones down on that bottom line.
No blocking so far. Like, no one has blocked, actually. There was that little thing in the middle about like 5 laps ago, but nothing crazy so far. So I'm curious to see if the 6 and the 16 are going to hold their word and stay at the front.
Brendan Cournoyer just now getting back out in front. The 2 drivers leading each lane. Michael Matta in the 16 on the outside. Brendan Cournoyer in the 55 on the bottom. Those are the only 2 drivers that have led laps here in the clash as we come towards halfway and very close in the back. Almost door-to-door contact between Adam Lowe and Chris Myers. Just trying to get that side draft off of each other.
Ooh, a lot of movement going on in the back. I feel like the aero package really shakes these cars up because there's a lot of movement, Frank, if you just watch them.
You can can see how much these cars have been moving. Noticed it in the onboard with Josh Flynn earlier on. You can see that outside line especially really snaking and moving around.
Kansas 16, side draft to 55.
Very interesting shot there. Just see how fast these cars get up off the apron or up off the banking, down the straightaway. Still, that outside line just barely does.
And they're holding on.
Yeah,
They're
are.
holding on. I knew it was coming.
Well, right now it's about 6 on 6 as far as the outside and the inside lane. Austin Call, Maxwell Caldwell, and Trevor Dalton. Here they are. They're sensing something is going to happen because they're about 3/10 off the back of this draft. And we're in the middle on the bottom and have now siphoned their way towards the back.
We're at the halfway mark. One lap over it, actually, honestly.
Nice quick night of racing. Oh, very close between the 6 and 55. And because of that, Matt is forced to come back up to the outside to pick his teammate up.
That was some quick thinking by these two. They spotted the problem and immediately corrected it.
Brendan Kornoyer just did get the nose in front of the 6 and has the momentum now on the bottom line with the 75 of Chad Jones pushing. But again, it's going to be the momentum of the outside line that's going to give Michael Matta the lap lead by 0.02 of a second, but it's still a lap lead nonetheless.
That is true.
Nothing quite like a good, quick 40 laps at Daytona to get the blood pressure pumping.
You know, I want to point out something too. The backdrop of this race is incredible. The dark, ominous clouds.
Yes.
Not too dark, not too bright. This is literally perfect.
It is a fantastic day for a race. There's a great shot of it right there. And again, it's going towards the night. There is your time. We are just about to cross over to 8 p.m. So the time is moving double time right now. So we should finish this race under the lights. And again, those very dark clouds overhead are making it look beautiful. Great night for racing.
This is a very, very cool shot.
Brendan Kornoyer still leading on that bottom line. Chad Jones trying to do anything and everything that he can to get the 55 just past the 16. Right on board with Jones now.
He's just kind of holding his place there right behind the 55. I don't know what he's planning. Are these two in the same team?
I don't know. Let me actually see. They are not. Oh, they are in the same chat, yes. As far as team, I'm not sure, but they are in the same chat.
Yeah, so they do have something planned. This is interesting. What they have planned, I don't know.
Another thing I'm noticing is these guys are taking this. Now, I'm not sure if it's because of the way this race is going.
6.
Yep. Case Beer and Matta both moved to the inside line. I'm not sure if this is just the way the race is going or if they physically can't because of the aero package. These cars are not really bump drafting all that much. They're getting close, but they're not really bumping. It's almost like an ARCA or a Gen 4 race where you can get close, but you can't really hit. I wonder if that has to do with the aero package or if these guys are right up on the edge of going crazy right now.
It may be the aero package because I've seen these guys bump and shove before on the old aero package. So I think the new aero package update may have messed with that part a little bit there, Frank.
And this is going to be the aero package for the iRacing Daytona 500, which should be coming up next week. That will certainly be fun. I'm sure that'll wreak havoc for leagues that run on the weekends. Harkening back to my run in the iRacing Daytona 500 last year. Finished 4th. Solid run. As now Justin Lewis gets a very good run coming through turns 1 and 2, and for the first time since about lap 6 or 7, the 16 is not in the lead, and even still, here comes the 77
there
on
they
the
are.
outside.
The guys that were in the back, Frank, they've made their way up to the front. Joshua Yarborough and Chris Myers in the 24. They are side by side here, first and second.
Chris Myers got shuffled to the back. Joshua Yarborough started and stayed there, and now here comes Josh Flynn going through. Wanted to take the bottom lane, instead decided to stay with the 24 and go up to the top. Todd Merkel as well. Haven't talked about him much in that Merkel Racing Ford, number 2. He's found his way up to the front. Outside line really looking good right now.
Yeah, this is something. I did not expect for the field to flip like this, almost completely, because Chad Jones is pretty much all the way in the back with Brendan Cornier. And I'm trying to see. Yeah, Jonathan Casabire all the way back in 10th.
So that inside line has fallen off. By the way, the entirety of this 15-car field separated by 1 second. So everybody is in this fight for the win. There's no one straggler. Everybody's here. Now 9/10 of a second separating first to last.
He'll get that big draft run, and he'll be right back up there with the guy. He already is.
Inside line now starting to show some muscle. Flynn with a little bit of a wiggle on that outside line. Joshua Yarborough leading the bottom with Justin Lewis behind him. Then it's Matta, Casebeer, Cornoyer, Jones, and Tarrant Hill on the bottom line. Myers, Yarborough, Merkel, Lowe, Wood, Caldwell, and Dalton on the outside line. Big wiggle on the bottom from the 16.
Nice onboard shot here with Michael Mata in the number 16. Huge wiggle.
You're really wiggling.
Like crazy.
Flynn, by the way, 3 wide through the middle. Shuffling out Myers. Now goes to pick him up. They're 3 wide through 3 and 4. And unlike Fox at the Clash on Saturday night, we're actually showing
there
it.
Goes 23 around. 58's going to go into the inside. Oh, no. 58 keeps it off the wall. 23, not so fortunate. Adam Lowe with a good catch there.
He decided to crash right during my criticism of the Fox broadcast, too. That's unfortunate.
Well, at least we caught the crash on camera, though.
Stayed off of the racing surface, so we will stay green, and that will be very unfortunate for Adam Lowe, who is now left without a dance partner. Josh Flynn has towed back to the pits after the hard contact with the inside wall. And now the outside line is going to have to do it again here. We're 3/4 distance gone, 9 laps to go.
Big move by Chris Myers. He's driving really aggressive, defensive and offensive simultaneously.
Casebeer had a big wiggle on that 6 down on the bottom. Forced the 24 back up. He's got Trevor Dalton in the 27 behind him.
Myers needs to be careful driving defensively like this. He could easily get turned like we saw with the 23.
Certainly could. Let's take a look here and see what happened really quick with the 23 of Josh Flynn coming off of turn 4.
Oh, he got turned by Myers.
Yeah, it looked like he got a bad bump. It's right on board with car number 24, Chris Myers. Yep, just coming off the corner.
Adam Lowe did get very lucky in being able to have enough space between the track and the wall to be able to sling the car back on track and not hit anything.
Outside line picking up steam and momentum again, and once again it is the 24 of Myers.
Whoa,
Out in
big
front
front by Yarborough. Big push by 7 to Justin Lewis.
Toyota, Chevy, Ford, the first 3 on the bottom, all Chevrolets on the outside. At least in the top 3. Austin Call getting siphoned through the middle there at the back of the line. Myers looking to play both halves against the middle with 7 to go.
A lot of these guys are going to be looking to make overtakes as the 27 is pushing Myers, gave him a big wiggle there. If you look, Frank, these guys are staggered in the line because they're looking to try and make an overtake at some point.
There you see it towards the back. Josh Tarrant Hill peeks towards the middle. The 18 in the middle, trying to get down to the bottom. Todd Merkel lets him in.
The 27 and 24 are going at it hard. 27 right on the back of Chris Myers, and Chris is just not letting him by. These guys are going back and forth, weaving in and out, slamming into each other in the turns. They're gonna crash hard if they keep this up.
24 trying to side draft. There goes the 27 down to the bottom. That now leaves the pushing up to Johnny Wood in the 750. Chad Jones, Josh Tarrant Hill, Brendan Cornoyer on the outside with the defending champion, as now Justin Lewis tries to find a hole up on the outside line. Couldn't find it. He's going to fall back through the middle.
Number 7 in a really interesting spot there. No one on his inside, so holding the middle lane. It was. Got a little bit of a run. Might try to shoot it to the inside of the 27, or the outside, sorry.
Yep,
3 wide.
Middle. He's got the middle again.
27.
Justin Lewis, Austin Call,
Hill
Maxwell Caldwell through the middle.
Chris Myers has fought his way up the first. He's like defending instant. I don't know if this is a sim glitch, but I think there was a lightning strike on the outside of the track. I don't know if that was intentional or what. I didn't think lightning was in this.
Lightning may strike soon. Now a staggered line, but the outside line does have the clear advantage. Justin Lewis, Austin Call go to the bottom. Now Chad Jones and Josh Tarrant Hill go to the bottom. Chris Myers swings down to defend. 4 to go.
There was a lot of movement right there, Frank. I saw like 3 cars do a very aggressive move, different parts of the field. You see it happening once again. Chris Myers goes high, and you got Josh Tarrant. Oh, 2 cars in the wall.
Maxwell Caldwell, and
around.
that will bring out the caution.
4 to go, too. 94. Got involved with the, who was that? Brendan Cornier?
55 of Brendan Cornoyer.
Was he in Jersey Mike subs?
Yep.
Should have ran Jimmy Johns.
Again, both of these drivers do have fast repairs, so really no harm, no foul for these two. Adam Lowe will get a shot to catch up now in the number 58 after he was involved with the 23, earlier on. Let's take a look and see how that went down. Two gets a piece of it. 27 and the 6 go for a ride.
27 had a good job of not touching the outside wall after getting turned by 6. Severe. Yeah, 27 got turned. Barely missed the outside wall with his rear. That was incredible
just
stuff.
Kissed it.
I wouldn't even say kiss. I would say more like hair follicle length away.
Here's the 27, and oof. About as close as you can get.
And these guys are definitely going to have some words for each other tonight at the Waffle House.
That's one thing that struck me as really entertaining about the clash last night was all these drivers beating and banging and yelling at each other after the race. It's an exhibition race. There's no points. What are you guys doing?
Ty Gibbs and Joey Logano going at it.
No, but not even that. It was also Stenhouse and all that, as we got a group of cars coming down pit road here. Justin Lewis, Michael Matta, Todd Merkel, Case Beer, Caldwell, and Lowe all down pit road.
Hey, Frank, I think the people liked my Jimmy John's reference there. It's been mentioned twice, back to back.
Thank you all for joining us here this evening. First race of season 37 for the SCL Winston Cup Series. Busch Clash tonight. Next week will be the Daytona 500, 100 laps, full field for these drivers. Round number 2 at Kansas Speedway the week after.
Kansas is going to be a good one.
And that will do it for the month of February.
Alan in the YouTube chat says there's more action on pit road than a Waffle House at 3 a.m. Yeah, I don't know about that. I say it's the other way around.
Well, they're about all off pit road right now. Todd Merkel getting back out onto the track, electing to repair his car instead of use the fast repair. Might not be a foolish idea. Josh Flynn, by the way, after towing to pit road, has yet to rejoin the field. He's been on pit road for the last 8.5 minutes.
Jake Holmes is cheering for the 24.
He's got one heck of a shot at it as well.
He might be able to do it if he can just hold on for a few more laps.
He's put a couple of big blocks on here already. Let's take a let's have a word actually.
Cree Meyer. Interesting.
Let's actually have a word now with our race leader really quick as we get the one to go here.
Frank, you have to address him as Cree Meyer. See what he says.
I guess so. Let's jump in and have a chat with our race leader, Chris Myers. Chris, out in front, doing some big blocking here. Got from the back of the front. How has it been out there tonight so far?
It's been pretty good. It's been pretty hard to make moves. I kind of pushed those guys all the way up there to the front there at the beginning, and then kind of got dropped all the way to the rear. Luckily, Justin let me in there. Then kind of fought my way back up, trying to just figure out what you can and cannot do, and seeing where the momentum wants to go. But I'm thinking, being up front, I think being up on that high side is going to be where you want to be.
Has it been similar to the more recent aero packages? You just said the high line is where you want to be, but is it one of those where the outside line can really string like it has been, or has it gotten a little bit closer now with that inside?
I think it really just kind of depends on how everybody drives. Me in particular, I'm pretty aggressive. I think the side draft is a huge part. Obviously, just being able to draw those guys back or disrupt the draft down at the bottom can allow you to, pull ahead. I think if you're going to run, a car length or so away from each other, bottom and top, it's just going to allow everybody to just kind of run, double wide, just kind of where they are. It stalemates things. You got to kind of make moves and use the arrow that you do have to make things happen. But we're going to go green here and see what happens here.
Just going to say good luck. Hopefully we'll be talking to you in the next couple laps.
Yes, sir.
So that was your race leader. We'll see what he can do. We'll see how he finishes up as the green-white checkered gets set to go. Chris Myers, Chad Jones on the outside line. Green flag is in the air. Great start for Myers. Now goes right up to the top to pick up Jones.
Jones making a huge move to the inside, right beside Chris Myers. Chris Myers out there by himself as we got 3 cars on the inside, 4 cars, 5 cars. Justin Lewis making up the last one. The pack is split literally in half right now. I think the back half is going to try to catch up as they sort themselves out because they need to get in the line or their front half is going to get away.
Back half was 3 wide just a moment ago. Chris Myers in half a lap has fallen all the way back down to 7th. Now has finally gotten in line. Justin Lewis, Trevor Dalton lead away on that outside line. Chad Jones now with 2.5 miles to go to pick up the win. Austin Call to the outside, white flag in the air.
Huge move by Austin Call, making the outside move. Chad Jones is just going to try to survive this. So we're going to see this come down to Austin Call versus Chad Jones. So we are coming on to the back stretch for the last time.
Johnny Wood Jr. Oh, Chris Myers turned into the outside wall. A couple
There's
of cars
lot
further
wrecking.
back. It's going to be a 7-car duel here for the race win.
Not over
Austin
yet.
Call out in front, goes down to the bottom, collects Chad Jones. 4 cars on the bottom line, coming to the stripe. There goes Call up to the outside line, tries to block, gets the bump. The Beaver gets it done. Austin Call, your race winner.
And the whole field wrecks at the end. Sort of. Bucky Beaver gets it done here at Daytona. Being driven by the number 18 of Austin Call. What a race finish.
Austin Call, Justin Lewis, Michael Matta, and a wonderful job by Austin Call to not lose it going into the tri-oval.
I honestly thought he was about to get completely turned by Justin Lewis. He started going really sideways and I was like, whoa, this is it.
See what happened here. This is on the back stretch. Let's go back a little bit further. See if we can't pick up exactly what happened. Looked like the 24 and the 6. There's the 24, 4th car on the inside line. Goes to the
24
middle.
into 77.
Ooh, yep, got hit by the
77.
77.
Yeah, by his front left tire. And just kind of got sent into the outside wall and collected. Who did he collect?
Like the 6 of K-Spear. Here's the run to the finish now. Just a great
Yeah,
run
look
of
at
momentum.
Justin Lewis.
Look
He's
at
going to go
Michael.
down.
Look at Michael Matta. Where did he came from the back of the line? All the way through for 3rd. What a job.
Austin Call almost threw it all the way, just trying to go for that last-minute block.
See this again from Matta, because he comes flying in.
Oh, he does. Wow, he was way back there going into 3. He shoots up as they go into turn 4. They come out of 4, and he's got a big run. Wow.
That's what you said
Good
about
placement.
that draft run earlier
Good
on.
placement. They out of those turns, they just have a huge pull.
And Michael Matta comes away from 7th going into turn 3 on the final lap to 3rd. What a finish. We'll get these drivers in here in just a moment as Austin Call takes away the first checkered flag of the season. Sam, I believe you're with him right now.
Oh,
Hey, Austin. It's Frank and Sam up in the booth. You got us?
yeah.
First of all, how's your heart rate doing? Really quick.
I think I might have had a bit mini heart attack there when Justin tried to murder me, but I think I'm doing fine now.
Yeah, so run us through that that last little bit as y'all were going into the tri-oval. You made a crazy block on Justin Lewis as he tried to sling himself down low.
Well, so since me and Justin are in the same team chat and everything, I knew he would help me on that last lap until that final corner. So I cleared down. I trust Chad. And then as soon as I cleared down, Justin's like, "Oh, I've got you now." And then that's why I see him start flying towards me.
Huh.
So I go up, block that, and then block him down, and somehow, I don't know how I didn't spin, but I didn't spin.
So did Justin actually say in your team chat, like, "Oh, I got you now," like out loud?
It was something like that.
This is incredible.
I don't remember exactly what he said.
Yeah. So just I know it was a shorter race. It's not going to be like or it wasn't a very long race. Crazy strategy and pit stop. So just run us through what your strategy was like through the entire little stint we had here.
Well, there was a little bit of strategy. We didn't know if we could make it on fuel. We didn't know. Yeah, we didn't know if we could make it on fuel at all. So we were kind of right on that edge the entire race, which is why I was kind of surprised that at the end that a bunch of people who weren't in that wreck stayed out.
Yeah.
I knew I had enough because I was sitting in the back all race just saving with my teammates, but there wasn't much strategy other than that. Then it was just kind of, once we knew we were good on fuel, it was just kind of go for it time, put it 3 wide, have fun.
So yeah, congratulations on your win here at the Busch class here at Daytona. Start of season 37 at SCL. Is there anybody you want to thank here for your run tonight?
Obviously, I got to thank my teammates, especially Justin, he pushed me to the end. Obviously, try to kind of screw me over there, but it's fine. We got Trevor Dalton, Maxwell, Todd, and Josh Flynn were teammates for tonight. I might have forgotten one, but I don't think I did. And then I thank my family. Now I got to thank my job for letting me off work today, so didn't have to go in today. And I got to thank my grandma. She watches all these races. She probably already texted me. My phone has flown off of my race, like on my thing, off my thing.
I'm sure it did. Anyways, yeah, Frank, do you have anything for Austin?
I do not. Your race winner, Austin Call. Congratulations, bud.
Thank you.
Well, at least the Sam picked a good time to crash after the race. So, well, there you go. Your second place finisher tonight, Justin Lewis. Justin came up just short and almost took the 18 out for the win.
Oh, that was totally the goal, right? No, like Austin said, I tried to. Well, number one, it was a field strategy game, so like as soon as this thing started, it was exactly 40 laps to the good, and then with our normal crap that Josh likes to do to screw with us with the extra pace lap, it was like, oh, we're short. So the whole group was kind of like, we probably should save a little bit, and I was sitting there riding dead last, like I am about to lose the rest of the hair I have left on my head because I was so bored. So I was like, screw it, and then me and Yarbrough jumped to the outside and we were up to like 7th and 6th or something by ourselves, and it's like, oh, it's time to play now. So yeah, we just tried to give it all we had there at the end. I'll be completely honest, Austin was ready to meet Dale, in my opinion. On the drive, I was like, it is game time. It is so game time. But he went down, like he bailed on me coming through 3 and 4, and I was like, oh, bud, you screwed yourself now. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, just see. And then when I got to him, I was like, I didn't lift. I was just like, one of your cars either going to the infield or the wall, and I'm either going with you or winning. But no, he did a good job. I didn't want to turn him, like literally I didn't want to turn him, but like if I did, it's the clash. So that's the point of it, right? Kind of got the bragging rights. But no, learned a lot for next Monday's 500. Kind of excited. If you noticed, there's a lot of things that are a little different with the package this season. So I think it's still going to be a top dominant deal, but it'll be interesting to see if it turns into a fuel mileage thing. Because, I mean, the single file thing, that was all fuel mileage. So, again, if it's not a fuel mileage deal, we'll get pretty racy. It'll be pretty fun. But I bet the top will be dominant. And I am not saying a word because I figured something out tonight. Ooh. I think most of the team did. So we're just going to play that one into Monday next week for the 500. And hopefully we can put a couple cars in the top 3.
Well, it just goes to show how many times I've interviewed you over the last year or so, because you answered all the questions I had. You answered all the questions I had, so you're becoming a pro at this. Anyone you want to give a shout out to? Yeah. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, you, Frank. You always make this thing good. Sam, nice to see you again.
Oh yeah.
Gonna go jump up and watch this one here in a little bit and see if I can figure anything else out for next Monday too. But Todd, he's back on again for at least this season for the Cup car. I don't think with my sprint car season starting, I'll be able to run quite as much, so I won't be able to four-peat it. I was hoping to maybe get a four-peat. We'll try to do that crap for the winter next year for the winter seasons. But yeah, we got Todd back. Can't thank him enough for jumping on all my cars, even in some other leagues, and jumped in Area 51. I think that I'm going to throw a little pitch out for them because they've really helped my plate game, I feel like. I mean, I was decent, but that's an all-plate league. I'm sure you know, Frank. And then I've learned quite a bit the past couple of weeks with how good those guys are to kind of see where moves work and everything else, even though it's the Xfinity car. But yeah, just thank you guys again, Josh and Adam with SCL. They made it fun. I'm glad they did this year. It kind of makes it way more exciting than just week one Daytona. Kind of gets the bugs out and you can kind of learn, get a little practice. And I think you've seen tonight with the experience what that does for us. So again, looking forward to Monday, and hopefully be talking to you again.
All right, your second place finisher tonight, Justin Lewis. Bud, congratulations.
Thanks, Frank and Sam. See you.
And really quick, our third place finisher here tonight, Michael Matta. Michael, what a run that you had here tonight. Got up to the front just as your teammate, K-Spear, had mentioned. And then how in the world did you go from 7th to 3rd in a quarter of a lap?
That is a great question. I just didn't lift.
No lift challenge.
Yeah. I knew the outside was really good. If you were alone actually, and there was like lines on the bottom, you can make the outside really work. I did it earlier in the race, and I went from like 8th to like 4th when we were single line on the bottom. So you can make some moves, but it's a lot different than the old package was.
I'm gonna write that down.
We noticed during the race that you guys didn't seem to be pushing as much. Was that just a product of let's get to the end, or was that a product of this package?
And if anybody's going to be pushing, it's going to be me. And when you don't see me pushing, it's a problem. This car, not even the car, the new package, if you're bumping the person in front of you, the whole line slows down. You want to get as close as you can to the bumper in front of you, and it makes that line go. Unlike before where you want to push, here you just want to be like as close as you can without touching.
We go to we stay at Daytona, but we go points racing next week. We're doing it for real. What are your thoughts going into to Daytona after such a successful run here tonight?
I think the more cars we have with this package, the better it will be. Because we did a practice race last week with about 8 cars, and it was just single line or whatever. But this had 16 cars, and it was 2 lanes were working. I think with however many we'll have next week, I imagine it'll be a lot, but I think it'll be a lot better racing and definitely a lot harder. So honestly, a top 10 will get me pretty happy.
All right, anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Of course, shout out to K's Beer teammate. A lot of fun tonight leading with him. Of course, shout out to my sponsor, Cisco and Stevie. Always got them on the car. And shout out to you guys. Thanks for having the broadcast as always. And I'll see you guys.
All right, your third place finisher here tonight, Michael Maddock. Congratulations.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Sam, one hell of a way to kick off this season. We saw a lot of great racing. We saw a completely different style of Daytona next-gen racing than from what we have seen over the last couple of years. Next week's 500 is going to be incredible to watch.
Oh, it definitely is. I can't wait for it. Honestly, it's going to be an exciting one.
Certainly will be. Let's take a look at the points, not the point standings, the finishing results here for tonight's race. As you guys get a very good look as to what's on my my computer desktop here. Austin Call takes the win. Justin Lewis, Michael Matta, Chad Jones, Trevor Dalton, your top 5. Johnny Wood Jr., Joshua Yarborough, Brendan Cornoyer, Josh Tarrant Hill, Maxwell Caldwell, the top 10, Adam Lowe, Jonathan K. Spear, Todd Merkel, Chris Myers, and Josh Flynn, the only driver that did not finish the race here tonight. So that will do it for us here tonight. The Clash is over. Next week, we will be doing it for real at the Daytona International Speedway. For my partner, Sam Frazier, I am Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. And until next week, remember, as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.